Hey, how's it going? John Dorsey with JohnD.net, and today I want to talk about the Hegelian Dialectic. That's basically which means the problem, reaction, solution. And what that means is if the government or any big entity creates a problem or exploits a problem, whether this problem is real or fake, and then the people, the population reacts to the problem, and they look to this entity or the government organization or whatever it is for the solution to the problem, or the people react to that problem, and then they look to the government entity for the solution to the problem. And 95% of the time, the solution to the problem was already in the works, was already pre-planned. And you're like, well, this is nonsense. Give me an example of history of this issue. Well, currently, there's supposedly a virus going around. Now, it could be real, it could be fake. People reacted to that problem by, because of the fear that people reacted to that problem, and they looked to the government for a solution. And that solution was, 20 social distancing. The solution was the wearing of masks. The solution was locking down businesses. Their solution was ultimately the vaccine, or as Bill Gates says, the final solution.
And then the final solution, which is a year to 2 years off, is the vaccine.
Is the vaccine. So that's an example of problem, reaction, solution. Now this could be, like I said, the problem itself can be real, and it also can be made up. The point is, when people react to that problem, the government or any big organization comes in with their solution. Not the solution that will benefit the people, but the solution that will benefit the government or the entity that's provide the solution. So that's the Hegelian dialectic, and it's used over and over and over and over again to push an agenda. Just look at 9/11. Did 9/11 really happen? Yeah, but that was the problem. People reacted to that problem with outrage, wanting revenge, wanting justice, and the government wanting to be kept safe. But we want to get into how the government's job is never to keep you safe. But 9/11 happened. That was the problem. People reacted to that problem, wasn't seeking, because of fear. They looked to the government for safety, and the government came in with their safety with basically extensive or in-depth searches at the airport, body scanners at the airport. You don't want to carry certain size liquids on the airplane. The Patriot Act was put in place, which stripped away more of your liberties. So your civil liberties, it took away some of those things. So, and this happens over and over and over and over again. Just look at the various mass shootings. The problem is the mass shootings. People react to that problem wanting, those things to happen less. The solution from the government is more gun restrictions. The Second Amendment says the right to bear arms shall not be infringed. That means nothing from the government can be put in place to infringe on your ability to obtain a weapon to protect yourself and your family, period, end of story. Anything put in place that violates that is infringing on that right. Just like the First Amendment says, you have the right to the free press, you have the right to free speech, and the right to religion. With this virus thing, your right to get real news, or to actually be right to the free independent press, has been violated because the people who are reporting, independent news outlets that are reporting on what's going on, are being censored and shut down. The right to assemble and freedom to practice religion has been violated because they shut down churches because it was determined not safe because of the virus. They shut down free speech because anyone who speaks out against anything that's going on, anything who has contradictory information, anyone who says something that's not going along with the narrative are shut down.
Then we also talk about removing information that is problematic. Of course, anything that is medically unsubstantiated. So people saying like, take vitamin C, take turmeric, like those all will cure you. Those are the examples of things that would be a violation of our policy. Anything that would go against World Health Organization recommendations would be a violation of our policy. And so remove is another really important part of our policy.
Wow.
A lot of these aren't just average people. A lot of these are doctors and scientists who are coming out saying that this whole thing isn't all that it's being cracked up to be. And these doctors who have years and years and years of decades and decades of experience and research behind them are being shut down because they aren't following the narrative. So there you go, problem, reaction, solution. So what can we do about it? Well, the main thing we do about it is not let these organizations run our lives, because that's not what their role is. Their role is not to run our lives. The Bill of Rights, the whole purpose of the Bill of Rights is to remind the government of the things they can't do. So if you read that or look it up for yourself, the government can't do a lot of the things they're doing, but people don't know their rights or they are afraid to stand up for themselves, so they get violated. And then it's one of those things where the longer you do something, the longer you go along with the program, the more it becomes your new normal. The more you get used to it. Just think of slavery. People resisted being slaves, but the longer they were enslaved, the more it became normal. The more it became natural for you to be trapped in a system or a way of life that you would rather not be in. But since you've been doing it, potentially you're doing it for so long, it becomes normal, and now that's your new comfort zone. And I've talked about in my other videos about paradigms, a shifting paradigm. The people who run these things, the government knows how to shift paradigms, and they never will shift the paradigm to where it doesn't benefit them. They only shift your paradigm so that you become more and more and more reliant on the government. So to get you out of your comfort zone of being free, so now your new comfort zone is walking around with a mask on, walking around, keeping your distance from other people, not wanting to interact with other people, and basically being afraid that someone might have something that could make you sick, which is absolutely ridiculous, because if that was the case, you would see that happening all the time. You will see hundreds or thousands of homeless people lying on the street because they are sick and dying from the so-called virus. So that's all I gotta say is remember that the Hegelian dialectic is always being used to control the population, all the time. Problem, reaction, solution. The government creates or exposes a problem, then attributes that blame to others. 2, the populace reacts by asking the government for protection and help to solve the problem. And 3, the government offers a solution that was planned by them long before the crisis occurred. So nothing, FDR, Franklin Roosevelt, said long ago that nothing happens in politics by accident. If something happened in politics, believe that it was already planned that way. So that's all I gotta say for this video. If you got some value out of it, like, share, subscribe, and I will see you in the next one.